I wish black men hated white supremacy as much as they hate Meg Thee Stallion. I wish black men hated white supremacy as much as they hate Megan Thee Stallion. I wish black men hated white supremacy as much as they hate Meg Thee Stallion.
Hey y'all, this your girl Jackie with the Q. Listen, the amount of negativity from black men and all these negative thoughts and think pieces and podcasts and talkabouts regarding what's the child name? Megan Thee Stallion astonishes me. Which it shouldn't really surprise me because we all now get to feeling that black men don't like us. We learning that now, right? We've only good for one thing, and that's sex, I guess, right? Or get money from us, whatever they can get from us, not really liking us, right? And then I saw what made me talk about this today, this blew my mind, was somebody on TikTok, I don't know who it was, it probably was a podcast, content creator dude, put up pictures of the men that she's been with. Put up her body count with pictures and names. Like, you niggas ain't doing the same shit. Why is it wrong when a woman do it? She was young. She don't like them. Okay, we move on to the next one. It's just that simple, right?
From the way Clay has acted since the breakup, I'm starting to believe that he planned all of this from the beginning. That he planned to play her from jump. Because I think we've underestimated how much black men and black adjacent men absolutely hate Megan Thee Stallion. He planned all of this because right now he's on the same boat that he named after her, acting like nothing happened. And the rest of black men are celebrating like he did something for the team. What this communicates to me is black men can't be trusted with the hearts and feelings of black women.
So all today, all I've been like seeing is this meme going around, and I sent it to one of my friends, and I'm like, why do they even make a meme of Megan Thee Stallion? This lady got her heart broken. She's going through a breakup like many people do, and y'all are taking it as like a win. I mean, y'all are literally sitting up here cheering on the fact that she basically got cheated on. That is what? And y'all claim like y'all want to protect black women, but then y'all treat her like she's not a black woman, and she's also young. I just say that to say, like, I just seen like a lot of dudes just saying like, oh, you know, he didn't want to wife up, no, you know, whatever, and yada, yada, yada. Y'all don't know what actually went on in their relationship. He cheated on her. She did not cheat on him. Or he couldn't be like, monogamous. He didn't want that after a year. After this lady met his mom and his dad and all of that, and y'all still say that she's the problem. To really sit up here and be clowning someone over a heartbreak, no matter who they are, that is heartless. And a lot of you men, I'm starting to just think like, and it's okay because you can be yourself. I'm starting to think a lot of y'all are gay.
So continuing this conversation that's been happening literally all week over Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. And let me be the first to just say that I do genuinely believe that this is a distraction from larger issues that are actually happening in the economy and impacting Black America, such as the Voting Rights Act actually being rescinded, because those are things that directly impact the life of Black Americans and will impact the life of Black Americans years down the road. And as long as you can keep Black men and women fighting, divided, and distracted from what's actually going on, then you can keep them from actually, one, focusing on the things that matter, and then two, organizing it in such a way to try to bring change. But nevertheless, with that said, back to some of these other ideas and false narratives I believe that are floating around regarding state of Black love, Black men, Black women. See, here's the key point that I think a lot of ladies are actually missing about this Meg Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson situation. We can't forget that Meg Thee Stallion's entire brand and narrative has been about hoe culture. She's been about essentially using her WAP to dominate people's, places, things, to dominate men and sometimes women. And I think what ladies don't understand is that a lot of guys, they're not even necessarily reacting to Meg Thee Stallion as much as they are reacting to the messages, and I would argue the degenerate messages about femininity and about female power that she has promoted, that she has been the leader of promoting. Many men are reacting to the narrative that a woman can, essentially sleep around, be promiscuous, promote all kinds of sexual degeneracy, and then go and settle down and get with her high value man, get with the pick of the litter, get with the cream of the crop, as if her past and her decisions have no consequences. And that's another thing that men, I think, are really reacting to. This idea that a woman can essentially do whatever she wants, and then when she's ready to settle down and play house, when she's ready to settle down and then try to be more committed or whatever, that the perfect man of her dreams is going to be right there. And somebody like Meg Thee Stallion represents that, right? I've said this in a previous video where women may look at Meg Thee Stallion's different dating partners and relationships and see it as see it as her evolving, see it as her learning and growing and maturing and getting understanding of what she really wants. And so when they see her getting with Klay Thompson, they may say, oh, yeah, this was her Prince Charming. So ladies are seeing it that way. Men, on the other hand, are saying, hey, this person is racking up bodies. This person is cheapening herself in the dating market. This person is just adding more and more and more and more baggage. And she's doing this while promoting this idea that she's still going to have a happily ever after. And and the ladies who follow her and the ladies who look up to her are going to believe the same BS. And so that's another thing that I think that men are reacting to. It's the WAP. It's the lies around the WAP. It's the idea that, okay, the WAP is so tantalizing and powerful that any man of your dreams is pretty much going to submit to it. And it doesn't matter what you've done in the past with it. And I believe that's what a lot of men are also reacting to. Because you see, WAP doesn't necessarily equate to being a good person, being a good girlfriend, partner, or even wife. It doesn't. But unfortunately, this whole culture paints a picture as if a woman's WAP is everything. It doesn't talk about her character. It doesn't talk about her morals. It doesn't talk about her spirituality. It doesn't talk about even her qualities, really, as a woman, as it relates to being in a relationship with a man. Not her qualities as it relates to her ability to twerk and her sass and her attitude, whatever, right? Because that's what ladies like. No. Her characteristics as it relates to her ability to actually work cohesively in a relationship with a man, right? Like, WAP cannot make up for any of those things. Because when you think about WAP and when you think about the way in which she's pretty much connected Black femininity to whole culture, there are implications to that. We also have to remember that Meg Thee Stallion doesn't necessarily have the best reputation when it comes to Black men. I mean, I don't even have to mention Tory Lanez and that very messy case, which even to this day, there are details that are questionable. And Meg Thee Stallion did admit to lying to some different things. But even outside of that, even if you want to just put that aside, remember one of her more recent music videos where she was literally dancing on the graves of Black men? And I found that to be highly disrespectful, and I didn't really hear Black women say much of anything about that. And so we can't forget and we cannot pretend that Meg Thee Stallion has a perfect past. And while I'm not advocating for anyone cheating, and I'm also not advocating for, you celebrating the heartbreak of anyone, we can't forget the fact that Meg Thee Stallion has also spent a good portion of her career promoting songs about cheating and being the other woman. And so now that she's experiencing the reality that she actually oftentimes promotes and raps about and has, done art about, some people are going to look at that and just say it's ironic. I think another thing that some guys are actually celebrating is the fact that, really, really poking a hole in this false narrative and this fantasy that a woman can effectively go around and act like a hoe, treat herself like a hoe, and promote being a hoe, and then still have a happy housewife ending. I think that's really what men are talking about. Even if you think about Meg Thee Stallion's post where she was mad and she talked about how she was playing house with Klay Thompson, right? So kind of nodding to this idea of, being the more kind of stay at home, just being more serious, being more monogamous, being more traditional on that setup. And again, the issue with that is that's not connected to her brand. Meg Thee Stallion doesn't promote monogamy or, serious committed relationships that have healthy boundaries and morals. That's not really been her brand. She's city girl, she's party girl, she's sex positive, and she obviously loves her WAP. And so again, I'm not saying that I advocate for anyone making fun of the heartbreak of anyone, right? And then more specifically, I know there were a lot of ladies who were upset and triggered about the meme. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with the meme, but we can't pretend as if Meg Thee Stallion is the first individual to have memes like that happen. There have been countless women who have found themselves being the brunt of the joke. If you think of Taylor Swift, she has quite a bit of memes. J-Lo, Ariana Grande, Kim Kardashian. These are actually white women that other, people were comparing her to, right? That one content creator who said, "Oh, well, where are their memes? Where are their memes?" And I'm like, well, their memes are actually everywhere. So Meg Thee Stallion is not the first woman to be shamed for the amount of public relationships that she has had. But I think anytime men get a chance to reiterate what it is that they actually value, which is something that I think Klay Thompson represents, they feel happy about that. I'm not saying that it's right, and you don't necessarily have to agree with it, but I think that's what's going on, because I think to a certain extent, Klay Thompson, his silence, it speaks volumes. His silence absolutely speaks volumes. But anyways, what do y'all think about this whole thing? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.